Hello and welcome to Simply Fairies. Kim Fee at Simply Fairies. Pleased that you could join me tonight. If you're there and you're watching, please do say hi. Be lovely to see who's watching me, who's joining me tonight. Hello, Louise. How are you? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Haven't been around much. I've had quite a bit going on. So I thought I can't miss another night. I'll have to come on a Monday because you all want to see what I've done with these daisies, don't you? Hello, Hazel. Hello, Katie. Did I have a lovely birthday? I did. Yes, your card did arrive. I'm going to be sharing them all. Thank you very much. I loved it. I'm going to be sharing them all in a post. But I got some beautiful handmade cards. I was really chuffed, to be honest with you. Hello, Cornelia from Austria. Oh, how lovely. Hi, Carol. Nice to see you too. Oh, got loads of people joining me. Louise says she's good. She's jealous. Didn't do that swap. I could have had a lovely card from you. Yeah, well, never mind. There's always another swap going on. It's the first one I've joined in for a very, very long time, I have to say, because it's no mean feat making 25 of the same thing. And I won't lie, it took me about 3 days. I mean, I didn't do it all day long for 3 days. I did a few hours here and a few hours there. While I was chatting with Paul. But I thought what I thought was going to be easy peasy for 25 of them actually turned out not to be so easy peasy. But it is easy. I'll show you how I made them. It's just really simple watercolouring. Anybody can do it. It's like a messy watercolouring. But Louise said, "Oh, I know. I did 19, and I thought that was a lot." Yes. Back in the days, we used to do them. If there was a lot of people that was joining, we used to do like groups of 10 because that's quite manageable, isn't it? And we forget the postage that it costs us. We forget that you could use 2 packs of cardstock. And I thought, I'd keep it relatively simple and cost effective, but it still didn't turn out that way. But never mind. I'm sure people enjoyed receiving all the cards that came in the post. I know I did. And there's quite a few people actually that used this set. Hello, Myrtle. How are you? Yes, there was quite a few people that actually used this set. The last swap you did, Louise, there was 19. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. Actually, I can show you some of the swaps. Where did I put them? Because I pulled out the ones that use this same stamp set as me, so that you could get different ideas of what we all come up with, really. I'm trying to move things about the place so that I can grab a couple of bits that I've used, because it's nice to have inspiration for one stamp set. So this is the bundle that I use, and to be fair, I mainly use the dies. I'm not sure you can really see the dies. Let's have a look. Let me grab them. So it's on page 111. I didn't use the papers. In fact, I didn't even buy the papers, so I wasn't keen. But I have seen quite a few bits now, and I'm getting a bit keen. But I actually use this die most of the time. I'm fine, thank you, Myrtle. I'm fine. I hope you are too. It is a stunning stamp set and die set. I agree, Louise. I agree. So it's got quite a few standalone dies. I haven't put this one on my magnetic thing yet. So you've got like a twiglet thing. You've got dies that will cut out that one, and that one. And then, oh, this one, where's this one? Oh, that one goes around that one. Okay. Does it go around that one? That one goes that one, that one goes that one. You can see which what I'm sure that must go. Yes, that fits that one. That fits that one. Then you've got that fits that and that. Yeah, maybe that. Then you've got a twig or stem that fits that. And then you've got leaves, fits that. And you've got the insides that fit there and there. And then you've got these three, which actually go on here. On here. It gives it a nice texture. You've got three of them. So that one goes there and that one goes there. And they look quite nice. And I think one of the cards that I got, she actually used it. Let's have a look. Yes, she used it. So I'll show you that because you'll be interested to see that. I'm just going to throw these back in. I'm so frightened about losing them because I haven't put them on my little magnetic, although I still lose them from there. If I'm being honest, I'm a bit of a messy crafter. Oh, bring that one out. Let's pop all those back in there. So even just the dies, if you don't really want another daisy set, the dies on their own will make stunning cards, as you will find out, because I will be using it quite a bit. So I'm using these. Okay, so let's bring in some of the swaps that I received. And now it was an in color swap, so we could use any stamp set that we wanted to, as long as it was current. But it's an in color swap, so we had to use the new in colors. Let's have a look. I've missed. Okay, Louise says, when will you share all the cards in the swap? Over the next week or so, I will do that. Let's have a look. It will last forever, as daisies are always relevant. Yes. Yeah. Oh, turn it over. Oh, I wish I'd have seen your comment before, Hazel. Right. Let's take this one out. So this is a lovely one. This one's got a nice background. She's used a die. I can't think what that die is, but she's made her own DSP, as we call it. That's nice. And then here's the daisies, so that she's used that, and then those other ones that go over the top there. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you can. It's got like a texture bit. Who made this card? Let's have a look. I haven't got no nails. Julie Everston, the crafty yellow camper. So she's used Moody Mauve, Wild Wheat and Boho Blue. One thing I didn't do, I forgot to do this, because I got carried away with the swaps and I was getting behind with them. And then she's used little pearls and she's splattered some splats. She must have known I like splats. So that was, where does that come from? Oh, that's her business card. So that's one of the sets. So that she's used the bundle, so the stamp sets and the dies. And then you have this one. This one's quite bright, and this one is from Deb's Crafty Doodles. That's a good name, Debbie Prince. Deb Crafty Doodles, and she's used the Moody Mauve. And what other colour she used? Because that's not an ink colour. Yellow is not an ink colour. Crushed curry. So she's used crushed curry and Moody Mauve and Mossy Meadow. Supposed to have been all in colours, but never mind. It works. It works. That's the in colour family DSP, and then she's just stamped. It's a 2-step stamping. So she's stamped the outline, and then she stamped the infill. I like that sentiment. Oops, a daisy. So sorry. It's funny. And that's the in colour ribbon as well. I think that I do like a bit of ribbon, but I don't like it too thick on a card. And I never bought it because I thought it looked very thick. And then the next one is using it's using all of the in colours. Who's this one from? Carriana Cards, Karen Mackley. So she's used Moody Mauve and Boho Blue cardstock. And the embossing folder is from the online exclusive, which I've used as well. But she's used the dot one and I've used the other one. But that's a nice way to use that thick ribbon. She's used the die here. She's used the standalone bit. And she's stamped tone on tone. And then she's done her own little background. Because you can do a one-sheet one, so you can do loads of them, cut them out, and there, Bob's your uncle. And then, so there's quite a lot of cards that I've got. And it's nice to have other people's take on it. Hi, Nicola. Hi, Linda. Hi, Chris. Which one's that? This one, Louise. Stunning card, she said. Do you mean this one? It's nice, isn't it? And then there's another one here. I have to... Jessie Crafts. Jess Collard at Jessie Crafts. Oh, stuck the what's it on the... She's used every colour in the in colour selection. So she's used the Wild Wheat, which is a bit of a weird colour, I think. In the cardstock, I much prefer the ink. Then she's used the in colour dots, so she's used each colour of the in colour dots, and then that DSP is from the Daisy. I keep wanting to call it Daisy Delight, but it's not Daisy Delight. Yes, it does look very greenish. It's Delightful Daisies, and then the Boho Blue, and then the Pebble what's it? So there you go. There. This was only 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the 25 card swaps I've got, and I pulled these out specifically so that you could see them, because we're using this bundle tonight. Let me pop those over there. I nearly fell out the chair then, sideways. And so if you've been on my socials today, you've seen this one here. So I just stamped in StazOn onto watercolour card. Then I just loosely used some Calypso Coral. I did a light wash, I let it dry, and then I went back over and did a little bit of a darker wash. And then I used grey granite for these bits. That one. And then I used grey granite to do the little doobies in the middle. The grey granite was too light for the sentiment, so I used Pebble Path. I keep wanting to call it Pebble Beach. And then I used the light Pebble Path blend. Now I'm going to have to buy another packet of these, because I've decided that I'm going to label these as my splatters, because you can see, look, where I splattered loads of those, well, 25 of those cards, and I've made the lid, and I'm going to ruin you will ruin it, but it'd be good for splatting, so you know, it is what it is. And then I just did a little bit of Wink of Stella over, just lightly brushed it laid it up, and that was that one. And then I used some edgings. When I made the swaps, I had loads of bits cut off because I was trying to get as much as I could. I didn't want to sling out the watercolour card because the watercolour card isn't cheap, is it? So I just cut them all out because I thought, well, they'd be useful for something. And I forgot that I had to do a card for the global design project. And so I've used the same technique as what we're going to do tonight on my other card, my original card, but I just used different colours. So I've used Sweet Sorbet, Grey Granite, which actually looks a little bit brown. And then the Pebble Path, and then the splats, and then some iridescent doobies, and that is Parakeet Party. But that's on my blog, so you'll be able to screenshot or save the photos and get a closer look. It's looking very red, but it's not. It's very pink, but it's looking very red. Oh, Hazel says, I find when I splatter that I never know when to stop. I know. Do you know what? Don't laugh. Right. So I was doing the swaps, sitting at the table with Paul. He was on his iPad, and I was just merrily splatting away. And I actually used white ink as well to splat over my flowers because I wanted them to look, I wanted them a certain way. I was trying to emulate my curtains, my living room curtains, and even Paul went, "Oh, they look the same as your curtains." But anyway, I tried to put a big piece of paper on it, and then and Paul was going, "Something wrong with my iPad. Something wrong with my iPad." I said, what do you mean? Well, it's got something on it and I can't get it off and it won't go away. And when I looked, oh my God, my table, my phone, and Paul's iPad, and his iPad was sideways to me. So I don't know how it got over there, but it had splattered all the screen of his iPad, all white little splops everywhere. And I need to get myself like a shoebox and splat away in there, I think. Anyway, don't never throw these away because they will come in handy. As you can see, I had one that had half a leaf on it. And I thought, oh, it just looks like it's coming off the page. That'll do me. Waste not, want not. So I'm going to move those out the way. Now, would you like to see my swap card, my card that I've been making all those daisies for, before or after I show you how to make it? So if you want to see it before, do love arts. If you want to see it afterwards, do thumbs up for me, please. So I'm just waiting for all the hearts and all the... Cool, I can see you lot don't like surprises. Okay then. Okie dokie. So bearing in mind some of my swappies, I did do some sequins, but I kind of run out of time, and so I only did a couple, and the rest of them didn't have a sequin in. So my one that's come back to me has not got the sequins. Even I said to Laura, "This is my one, my prototype." Either she's got it or someone else has got it. But here is my card. It's gone a little bit flat, the linen twine, because it's got squashed in the box. But here you go. And you can see I've used that lovely online exclusive embossing folder. It really is a beautiful embossing folder. And you do get three. You get the spots. You get the weave. Oh, God, I don't know what else you get. Oh, you get these flower ones. But, if you're into flowers, you're into flowers. It doesn't matter what it looks like. But You can see where I've splatted, and I've not covered every piece of the die cut. I have left it white. Now it is easy to do, but please, you must have a bit of patience, and you will be very happy with the results if you do exactly as I do. Louise says she's just got that embossing folders and she loves them. Yes. Tried to get the Hazel says she tried to get those folders but couldn't. We'll have to learn to live without them. No, they went out of stock, but they're back in stock, I'm sure. I'll have a check for you afterwards, Hazel, but I'm sure they're back in stock. So when you next make your order, every time you go to make an order, just pop them in there. But I'm sure they're back in stock. So this is what we're going to make tonight. And I'm going to concentrate on the colouring. So I've pre-done the embossed bit, and I've pre-stamped and used the die to cut it out. That's a lovely die. This is another one that I did. And I think what I'll do as well is I will collate all the comments on Facebook and YouTube, and I will use, you know, that Wheel of Fortune thing, and I will send the finished card off to the winner. And what I'll do is I'll record it as well. So the embossed panel is in my normal size of 8 centimeters by 12 centimeters. Let me check for inches. 3 1/8 by 4 3/4 of an inch. But I mean, letter size, just make sure that you've probably got half an inch either side. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's half an inch border all round, away from your card edge. If you do it like that, then you'll get a nice border. Okay, so if we pop those over there, I was going to say I've lost the sentiment already. So we've done all those. We ain't got a faff about doing those. I did do other colours because in my curtains, I have got those colours, and I've got like a rusty colour in it as well. So I was well ahead of this in colour, you know, by about 5 or 6 years. I've had my curtains made, had them made, and so I did that. But I ran it past Paul, and he says, "Ooh, they're a bit dark," so I didn't use them. But I won't throw them away. I will use them on something. But I was just playing. Oh, thank you, Myrtle. Yes, if you share my this live, as well as commenting, you will get put in the Wheel of What's It twice. So you have twice as much. But we get going. We're getting excited, doing a bit of colouring. Okay, so I've got a water brush. Well, I have several actually. And a little pot of water. Because I tend to have brushes that flood, and I like to have a little bit more control over. Then let's have a look. I want some blocks because I find it easier. I haven't got the ink refills as yet, and the ink refills are stronger. And you will need a little bit of patience because these are not as strong. And I just pressed in. So this is good to get rid of your juicy inks. Okay. And let's pop that there. And you want a fairly thick. That's a thin one. That's a thin one. You want a fairly thick. Ooh. Yeah, that's thin. That's thin as well. You want a fairly thick brush. Not too thick. You could use your old. That's it. Look, that's how many I've done. I've really stained it. That's the big one. You could use your old Wink Stellas. Don't never throw them away because they're good for brushes. Because if you're like me, I dip into the water. My paper. Oh no. You need some blotting paper. Which I must have left downstairs. I'll have to have a little bit of tissue. Oh, yeah, I've sat on them. Gold. I thought it was warm. I see it was warm. I must have been a cat in an older life. I might end up, depending, it is a bit hot in this room, so but I might end up having to use the heat gun if we want to hurry it along. But when I did them, if you're doing several, I did the yellow, the first colour. I did about 5 or 6, kept throwing them on a pile, and then turned the pile upside down, and then brought them back, and then added a bit more extra colour, so it was the same colour but a little bit darker. And then if I leave that here, then you'll see where I'm going with it. And then I just did it like that, so I wasn't going colour onto wet, because if it's wet all the time, it would just go muddy, and and you'll be crying. Oh, hello Cassandra, hello Kim. You're catching me live today. That's lovely. Let's make sure I haven't missed anybody's comments. Just give me a shout if I have. Okay, let's get started. So, not too wet. Dab it off a little bit. Swish it around. You might just want a little bit of a laminated sheet. My lovely friend Mandy made those for me. Just to do that. A little bit more water because I need that quite light. And I just, like when I do my Stampin' Blend colouring, I do all this, don't I? Well, that's exactly what I'm doing here, because I want it to look like it's I don't know, the material that I got. It was called photographic images. See how messy I am. So look at that. That's all that is. I'm going to try and fetch that right down for you to properly see. So go really, really light on the first one, and then try without doing your brush in the water. Yeah, it's dried, a little bit dry. I then started to add like this. just sort of like not that kind of thing, but that kind of thing, yeah? And if you find your brush is getting a little bit dry, just mush it in the water, swish it around. Hello, Emma, how are you? And then just add the darker bits on, twisting it around because you don't want it to be looking uniform. And then if you think, well, that's a little bit dark, dip your brush again into the water, soak a little bit of it off, and really water it down. And then you've got, you know, still. I'm going to leave that there for that colour for the minute. I'm going to pop that over to there because I want it to dry. I've not poked the bits out either because we'll do that afterwards. And then we take the pebble and we squish again. It's funny because when you lay it on there, it looks grey. But when you start to watercolour, it's certainly a brown. Take a little bit off because you want it to be quite light. Around I go. And you see where it's pooling in where the you can poke those out, but I left those ones in, but these ones I did poke out, as you can see. You can see my finger for it, but I left the little holes in because I thought it looked quite nice. So I'm taking again, I'm going quite dark now, and I'm coming off the edge. And just dibby dabbing, letting that dry while I go to here. And I'm going to go round, I'm not going to cover it all, I'm just going to go around the edge like you're doing a bit of a shading. Can you see? And when it goes on really, really dark, like a dark grey. And then when it dries, it goes lighter. Can you see it's drying already? It's quite hot underneath the lights here. So I'm just going to come back again. I'm not going to add no water. Hello, Kathleen. Oh, yes, catch the replay, because at the beginning I share some swaps that I received. What we're making now is the swap that I made to go in the swap, and that I shared some of the swaps that use the same stamp bundle as me. The swap was in colour swap. Hi, Lane. And then just keep adding. You know, you can't take away, even if you pop lots of water on it and you dab it back up, it'll look a bit weirdy. Okay, now I'm going to go back over to the Wild West, Pebble Past. I do make my own things up, I think. Okay, just a little bit of water. And if you find that this is all mushy, just squash it back into you. You might want to wipe it off if there's too much water on it. You don't want to water your pads, but you know. So you can see I'm going around the edge. I'm using the darker bits. I don't want it too light because I want to come in again with a darker piece. And you can move the item around. Let's have a look. Let's use this and you can see it a little bit better. That's it. So you can see it a bit better now, can't you? And you just I'm just going around the edges because I know that around the edges it's not that watery, it's more concentrated. And then they're lovely, aren't they, Myrtle? They're lovely flowers. I do like these ones. I have got plenty daisies, but these are quite nice daisies. Hi, Christine. I know I haven't been on for a couple of weeks, have I? I've had such a lot on with Mum and that. Let's have a look. Go back round here, and you can sort of like if you pick it up towards you and move it from side to side, you'll see. Oh, I've missed that bit, or oh, I think that bit look a bit better, or just be careful. Look at that. Just be careful when you're doing it on something like that. Maybe I should just get another bit of paper. Scrap bits. That's it. And then try and fill in some light bits. And you can, because you're watercolouring, if you've done a splodge there like I just did there, and I thought, well, that's a bit of a harsh line, I just added a bit of water to move it. You can still move the water and soften it down. And then I'm going to come back into the leaves because I just want to do a little bit more with the leaves. And you might think the leaves look a bit weird at the minute, but you've got to poke them bits out. So when you're using watercolour card, what I suggest is that you run it through once, come back, go forward, go back. And then you'll know for sure that you can easily get those leaves out, because I got fed up after 25 and I wasn't going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I soon regretted it when I was putting them together. Because I had to sit and poke them all out. That's it. Okay. So I'm done now with the painting. So you can see how quick that is, can't you? I'm going to move all my cards out the way because I'm splatting now and I don't want to get it everywhere. Oh, I miss you too, Elaine. Okay, so let me just take that out of there. That pot, I'm going to pop that in the drawer there. Close that so it's out of the way. Let me move those two. I might as well just wipe them off. I'm going to wipe them off, because I know what I'm like. I'm going to put something in there. I'll put something in there and get it everywhere. I normally just run them under the tap. Look at that. Pop them in there, pop them in there. Okay. Now the white ink that I use either the craft ink, but that takes quite a while to dry, or I use the Winsor & Newton, and I've got the, how do you spell that? Gouache or ink? And it was the ink that I splooshed everywhere. This ink. But before I do that, because you can barely see the white bit on there, but there is white on there, I'm going to use the dark stamping blend. Like as I mentioned before, if you do like a bit of splat, this is a great colour because it's not so harsh as the black and the grey. You might want to buy yourself a splatted pair. Look, you can see where I splat all the bits. So let's have a look. Use the brush tip. I forgot what it was called then. Brush tip. Okay, so I'm just gonna, if you go higher, the splats get bigger. Okay, and see where they go, they shoot, it shoots off. So you might want to start from, say, here and splat and go across. You'll see that it and you see, let's get another bit of paper. Never sling out all that bad printing that you do because it comes in handy. So can you see those nice splats? They just make it. They take it to another dimension. That's it. Let it focus. There you go. So you can see them splats. It takes it to another dimension. Now, I would get your set of light and dark because the other card that I shared with you, these two, they're using the lighter pebble path blend for the splats, so you can really tell the difference with the blends. Now I'm going to use a little bit of white gushy stuff. I'm just going to shake it in the lid. And for this, you're going to need your water painter. And you're just going to, just a little bit, not too much water, because it's ink. It's not actually paint, if you get my drift. And then I'm just going to splat across. And that's it. And promptly wash your brush, especially if you're going to use the StazOn. You do get in a mess, but you know, you're making a masterpiece, so you won't mind getting in a mess. Oh Lord, my poor desk. Oh well, I am a an artist after all, aren't I? Hi, Rachel. Rachel, you need to watch the replay because I shared some swaps using this stamp set and some other cards, so it gives you lots of inspiration if you was thinking of purchasing the bundle or you already have purchased the bundle. So now it should more or less be dry, but you know, touch that, it's not too dry. Look, I'm just going to be very careful. I'm going to poke out these bits now. Now don't throw these bits away because I'm going to be doing, you'll see in my little box, look, I've got loads of them there, sitting there. They're like little twigs and you can use them on your cards. I know some people might say, I'll just throw them in the bin. And I did, some of them I did. But see, that's why I left them in, because you can use them and they look like little twigs, don't they? It's not focusing very well. But Katie says, I'm already making enough mess about adding the splatting technique into the mix. I know. And you know what? I've watched people and they have, even Martin, he has like a copy paper box lid thing. Very wise indeed. But yeah, but don't do it at the dining table because it ends up on someone else's iPad and you won't be in the good books. And then if you look there, there's 3 holes that you need to poke under the one that's back. Okay, so I wonder if we can see it in this one. You can see it in this one. Them holes there. Okay, and then them holes there. Okay. I love. So you can use that as is. Let's bring back. Now, Blue Peter Styly, I did tell you I'd already cut out all the bits and I've already layered up on some cards. Okay. So this is layered up on dimensionals. This is put up on dimensionals because we're going to tuck underneath, and this is underneath. Now you could, if you wanted to, just add it like that. I didn't. I just twisted it round because they're only on by the skin of their teeth, basically. Just snip and trim. Okay, snip and trim. Is that too close? Am I too close? Do I need to come back a bit with the camera? I think I might need to come back just a tad because it keeps going fuzzy. So I didn't put any dimensionals on this because, you know, no thank you. You can put little dots of glue if you so wish. I didn't mind it flapping about. I thought it'd give it texture. So all I did was popped one there. And then I cut in half. I popped one on there. And this one, I kind of manipulated it around because don't forget, it's watercolour card. And I'll pop one on there. So let's bring in the card for you. take the what's it off, and I just tucked it underneath. So be wary where you put in your dimensionals. I'd just put 2. I'd put one there and one there, so slightly in the middle. So then you can slide that under there. And I want to come off the page a little bit there. That's it, like that. And then this one I want to just pop over like that. And then this one, it just sort of goes there. And then I'm going to cry because we no longer do the Sparkle and Shine, but I'm still going to use them because we do have something else very similar in the catalogue. I think some of them have got like glittery bits on, but you can use iridescent rhinestones, would look really lovely. And I just think a little one there, maybe one here, maybe one there, sort of tucking underneath the iridescent sequins. You know me. And I like iridescent because it does take on the colours that you're using. So you haven't got to worry about, oh, I haven't got that colour, I've got to order some different ones. No, you haven't. If you're only going to buy one embellishment, look for the iridescence. And I think that's all we need. Now you could at this stage do a little splash of Winker Stella. You can't be very heavy-handed with it though. You don't really need it. Katie said it's why she has to use her basket for photos and filming. Just lightly, you don't want it all over. You just really basically want to mold them flowers. Maybe I should have done that while they were sitting down there, but I didn't. Hey ho, I was too engrossed in showing you how to colour it. And I don't profess to be the professional. I just found a technique that I made up that worked for me. And I always get comments on my colouring, and I use more or less the same technique with Stampin' Blends and the watercolour. And there you go. There you have it. Okay. I'll bring back those other ones where I added a bit of colour. They were a bit dark. They look a bit copperized, don't they? Is that a word? Copperized? And then if you just want to use the one colour, I quickly made this because they were short on participations on our group for that one. There you go, folks. That's me for tonight. Thank you very, very much for joining me. As I say, I will be giving away 2 cards. So if you could comment, I'll give until Monday till, I suppose, till Friday. Hi, Carol. Till Friday. I'll give you till Friday you can either share, it will notify me that it's shared, my Facebook or my YouTube to your friends, or you can comment, add some hearts, some thumbs, even the angry faces get me up there. And I will go through and put you on the wheel of fortune, as they call it. So I'll give you till Thursday, and then I can collate all the names and pop them into that wheel and I'll video it. I'll have to speak to Jay and see how you can do it live, because he does his live, doesn't he? So I shall do that, and there'll be 2 cards in the post. I don't care whereabouts in the world you are. I'm happy to send all over the show. So please do share for me. Absolutely fabulous. If you haven't got a demonstrator and you wish to purchase some bits and pieces, if you're in the UK, in Ireland, Austria, Germany, Netherlands, have I missed somebody else? Germany, France. Please use my online shopping link. It's in the button there. But anyway, I've enjoyed tonight. Thank you very much for taking the time out to watch me. Hi, Vicky from over in Arizona. Lovely. Thank you. I will be posting photos of this tomorrow on my socials. This one's on my blog already, and so is the other one. And these will be going on a blog post, but they will also be going on my Instagram and my Facebook page, so you can download from there photographs, and you can case to your heart's content. Anyway, take care for now, folks. Thank you very much for joining me. I've loved having you along. Take care. Bye. Have a nice evening.